the first thing you would need is a diary or something portable that you can take around that has all the months. So I know this is a very basic diary with hardly any sections, but what was most important for me was to have ample space to write within the day. If you flip through mine is quite full. I write a lot, so I needed ample space within the day to plan my day, and this meant I had to decide between a diary that had a lot of compartments for finances and planning, monthly plan. That in the diary itself, inbuilt, you would get monthly planners, weekly planners, etc. But for me, it was most important that I have space within that day. And the second thing that I need was a family schedule. I hope that's clear. And so you get these humongous charts, which is for the month, and there's room for each day to jot in what is happening. So as you can see, I know that my November in this area is very busy. So what I do is, as soon as at work, if I have some commitment, some function, something coming up, I will jot that activity under the date, and I will attach the relevant invitation or the card or whatever along with it. Now, say for example, if I have a work function coming up on this date, I'm supposed to have this, attending this program, so I staple the invitation onto that date. That way I won't lose track of all my invites and programs and etc. schedules. So I'm also a lecturer in university, which means I have timetables, various activities, and I don't want to miss any of those. So if I have an exam at 8:30 to supervise, I will staple that onto this date and I will jot it down on the diary. So once a week, generally every Friday night or Saturday night, somewhere over the weekend, I will look through the next week, what is going to be there, and transfer that information onto this planner. It would be ideal if on a daily basis something I can come and check and update my planner, but that doesn't always happen. It becomes a weekly thing most of the time. So with these blacks, I would generally put in my activities, what I need. Say 8 a.m. I need to be here, by 11:45 I need to do this, by 1 to 2 I need to do this. So I have my activities. So after I add in my things, I go on to the rest of the family members. So as and when my sons bring in their school activities, I will jot those in. So the ideal thing would be, which I did start at the beginning of the year but unfortunately didn't go ahead with, would be to take a number of colored felt tips. If you have a colored felt tips with a specific color for each family member, you could jot that in as it goes. But what happened for me was, I did have this at the beginning, but then my son stole those colored felt tips and I was left with just my blue black pens and my mark highlighter. So this is what I did at the end. So whatever activities that my kids would have, those would also go in, and my activities and any other family thing. So this way I would know where I have to be in that day, and also I would know if I needed to ask for help. I think that is a very important thing if you want to be able to multitask, or if you want to do a lot of things together. You need to know when to take help, and if you are asking someone else to help you out on a certain day, to maybe pick up the kids or something, or drop the kids or pick up the kids or something like that, you need to have planned ahead, because you can't just go up to somebody and say, okay, can you pick them up today? No, you need to plan, because those people also need to know. So because of this, I will be able to know for the week where I would need help. So as you can see, we're still in November, but my December is already filling up. So I have not just waited for the previous week. As and when I have got some information, I have added it in. You can also add birthdays and anniversaries into the same date so that you know when somebody's birthday is coming, and maybe a few days ahead you can write in, say, to purchase that birthday card, so that when you look at that day, you know I need to purchase that birthday card. So my diary will have a more detailed time oriented one, saying other than the appointments that I have to go for, my to-do list also comes into this diary. So I would say 2 to 3 I need to do this, 3 to 3 that I need to do this. So other than the places I have to go and the things I have to do, my personal to-do lists of making a lecture or going somewhere or typing something, and sometimes I just add a few stickers and notes just to make that page more highlighted if I need to, and sometimes I attach small tags which would have a detailed to-do list. I would have a detailed to-do list for that week and fix a highlighted marker to note that page. So as I complete those items, I would cut it off.